All right. Hi, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. My name is Gabby. I am a sketchbooker, a doodler, a drawer. I make art. I got a request to go through some of my favorite art supplies that I use for sketching. So today I thought it would be fun to just yap a little bit about art supplies that I like, and yeah. So I just wanted to put in here, I know that you guys are probably all smart consumers, and I trust that, but I just can't tell you how many times I've watched a YouTuber's video and that little pea brain of mine thinks that whatever art supply they're using is going to be the art supply that's going to make me the artist I hope to be one day. And then I buy the product and it's good, but it just never elevates my skills in the way I'm hoping or like think it will. And then I feel really dumb. So I just want to say again, these are things that I like, things that I have collected over the course of like 10 years. Some of these products might work great for you, some of them might not. None of this is sponsored, and I'm also not going to put any links in the description because if you go out to buy any of these things, I would really, really encourage you to go shop at your local art supply store. I love going to art supply stores. It's kind of a problem. I feel like I can't go in there and get what I actually need without buying myself like a little pen treat. I'm also not sponsored by any of these people, so if I was, I would tell you. So I guess we can start talking about paper or sketchbooks that I like to use. I've used a few different brands over the years. I tend to reach for mixed media type papers. Like I don't like anything that's super thick and you don't get a lot of pages in the book, but I do like something that could reasonably handle like 1 to 2 washes of watercolor is generally what I reach for. And I get asked this all the time, but I have one sketchbook that is my absolute favorite. Again, not sponsored. Oh my god, this is heavy. Can you see these? But these are Handbook Journal Co. sketchbooks. This is like the really tiny one. I think I got this as a Christmas present. I'm actually too scared to use it because it's just so small. But these are nice, reasonably priced, usually multimedia sketchbooks. I've used them since art school. And yeah, I really enjoy them. My first sketchbook tour that I posted on this channel was in a Rhodiorama sketchbook, which was nice. My other sketchbook, my spring 2023 one, that was this guy. And then I'm also currently working in one for my 2024 sketchbook. So yeah, that's what I like to use. Right, let me put these down. Oh my god. My office is a mess right now because I just have so many art supplies sitting out on my table. Okay, let's talk ink. I, for some reason, have really unreasonable beef with a lot of waterproof pens. I just haven't found one that I love. I mean, I like that they're waterproof, so I can use watercolor or other materials with them, but a lot of them just don't have a flow that I like, or I find that they clog or explode really easy. So I pretty much only use, what's the word? Not waterproof pens, water soluble, which means that I do have to be careful about smearing and stuff, but I tend to just try to work around it. Okay, where is she? My number one black ink favorite right now is going to be the Uniball Air. You definitely can't see that, right? I can put a picture up if it doesn't work. I really enjoy this pen. It has like a really weird nib barrel, but it makes like really cool lines and it's the right thickness and I love the flow. So it's just what works for me. Yeah, this is all reliable. She stays in the bag all the time. Okay, there's another pen that I have loved and then immediately lost in the wilderness of my apartment. I'm hoping it turns up, but if not, I'll just put a picture of it here, but I believe it's in a Tombow. I had the other Tombow sitting here somewhere. Tombow! I think this is a Tombow Funosuke. It's like a little brush tip guy, but this one's fun because it's got a black side and a gray side. The gray side is basically completely dried out though, which is pretty annoying. And the black side isn't totally dried out, but it has a texture. But I bought a different Tombow that doesn't have the gray. And again, I'll put the picture in. I love that pen and I'm so mad I lost it. Of course I did, but that was my most recent pickup at the art store. I'm hoping I find. Okay, my next one, you have seen this all over my sketchbooks. This is the Papermate Flare. This is like the hot pink color. The hot pink stays in the art supply bag. She's always there for me. I don't know why. I think it might just be like the nib on this, or not a nib, but like the tip is super round, so it creates like a monoline texture. I really like pens that don't have a lot of variation in thickness. They either have to have no variation at all, or they have to be like a brush pen. So I bought that pen one off at the art store and I loved it. And then I was actually going through Walmart. I found this like mixed set of a bunch of different colors And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get it. But then I bought them and I don't like these as much as I like the pink. This blue is pretty fun, but other than that, they just like, they're just not doing it like the pink one. So the pink one's my favorite. And also, these are not waterproof and will smudge too. If you're really looking for something that is waterproof, I do like these Winsor Newton. I don't know what they're just Winsor Newton fine liners, I think. But this one's like in a cool gray color. And I also have one that's in a brown, which is pretty fun. So let's talk pencils. I actually really don't use traditional graphite pencils at all. There's a couple reasons for this. Number one, I don't like the smudgies. I hate when pencil smudges on my sketchbooks. I just really don't like it. Number two is I kind of, especially if the lead is really soft, I have a weird textural issue with pencils. I hate the way they feel on paper. I also have this issue with like charcoal or like Conte crayon. It's just like, ugh. It's like nails on a chalkboard. I really hate it. I don't know why. And the third reason is I kind of force myself to not use pencil because I feel like just going straight in with ink, especially in my sketchbook where there's no repercussions if I mess up, I find it makes me a better artist and it makes me more confident in my choices. Now I do use colored pencils. I sometimes use them to sketch if I'm feeling like I need an underdrawing, but usually I just use them to add color or background or something else silly. I'm not really loyal to any one colored pencil brand. I do use some Prismacolors. I use some Crayola colored pencils. I have this huge Faber-Castell Polychromos set. Can you see that? Probably not. The only reason I have this is because my partner had a coloring book phase. So he bought these for coloring books and then he doesn't really color anymore. So now they're mine. That's not really something I would have bought for myself, but I do like having it. I find that the Faber-Castells are pretty buttery and nice. I am not a colored pencil connoisseur, so your mileage may vary. And this is my latest really stupid thing, but this is a rainbow colored pencil. I don't know the best way to show this. It doesn't have a brand on it. It's like a novelty pencil that I got at a tea shop, and it has like wildflowers in the back of it. You can probably get these not at a novelty store and get a better quality one, but I'm obsessed with this. I've been using it on almost every page, which makes my sketchbook way too homogenous. I need to put it down. But yeah, this is just like a very silly thing that I've been obsessed with lately. Okay, next up is markers. I don't really love alcohol markers. I mean, I think they're fine. I just don't like that they bleed through pretty much every paper. Even like the specialty papers that are supposed to not bleed through, they'll bleed through. I find that they dry out really fast. So actually my replacement for that, this is gonna be so goofy. I am the Crayola Super Tips Truther. These are literally, I probably got these at Michael's or Walmart. They're super cheap. I am obsessed with them. Again, I think I got these when I was in art school, so a long time ago. And I use them all the time. And they don't dry out like ever. The colors are super vibrant. It is water-based, so you have to be mindful of that. They will smudge with other water-based materials, but I just love them. And they don't bleed through the paper usually, which I love. And I like the chisel, so you can get like broad strokes and like thin strokes. I love a good low stakes art supply. I feel like if I spend too much money on like a sketchbook or like a pen, I'm almost like scared to use them because I feel like I'm not going to make something that's worth the product, which is dumb. But every time I buy a nice like sketchbook, I almost never use it because I'm scared. So it's the same thing with pens. I love stuff like Crayola or like crayons even. Keeping it cheap generally is better for me. Okay, so now I'm just gonna do some rapid fire, like random art supplies that I like that don't really fit into any of these categories. These are Sharpie peel-off China markers. I think they're also called lithographic crayons or lithographic pencils. I basically treat these like crayons for adults. They're really fun. You can like peel the paper off to get more of the material, but they're kind of like a waxy, I think they're technically all surface. In art school, I drew like on plastic window blinds with these. Some people draw on like plastic or glass. I just use them in my sketchbook. The texture is very satisfying. And yeah, they're fun to use. Highlighters, I use just a bunch of random office grade highlighters. My favorite is the Sharpie gel, like these gel-based highlighters. I bought this probably 5 years ago and I love it so much. I use it all the time. Again, it has just like really fun texture. Yeah, I use this everywhere. And it's like, I feel like this gets more neon on the page than like a regular highlighter does. Yeah, I love Sharpie gel. And then the last thing is like dip pens and fountain pens. This is a Tachikawa pen holder, and then I think this is a zebra G-nib. I'm almost embarrassed to show you this because it is really dirty. But I really love like the concept of fountain pens and dip pens just because I'm trying to A, stop buying little pens every time I wander into the art store, and B, I want to try to be more mindful about buying materials that aren't refillable or reusable in a way. I just hate like a pen drying out and then throwing it in the garbage. It's upsetting to me. So I'm hoping to like use more dip pen, fountain pen stuff in the future. So if you have any, dip pen, fountain pen recommendations, I would love to hear it. So yeah, I think that's going to be pretty much everything. Once again, this is just the stuff that I like. I'm not telling you that you have to go out and buy any of this. I would never want to do that. I think the most important thing with your sketchbook is just playing with different materials and exploring what you like. And you're going to find so much happiness with that, no matter what art material that you're using. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to like and subscribe. Let me know that you want to see content like this. I'm Gabby, and goodbye.